Robert, driver of the 04 mainly asphalts Camaro. You're watching XCAL on Tella TV.
Esto es XCAL League, soy Octavio Rondoletto y me verás arriba del Tella 77.
Hi, this is Angelo Esposito, driver of the 33 machine, and you're watching XCAL Racing on Tella TV.
Hi, this is Kenny Tripp, driver of the main Mongol truck service Camaro. You're watching XCAL Racing on Tella TV.
Hey, ich heiße Rafael Sempro und bin der Fahrer des Wagens mit der Nummer 74 und ihr guckt XCAL Racing auf Tella TV.
This is Ryan Soper, driver of the number 84 RS racing car, and you're watching XCAL Racing on Tella TV.
Good evening, my friend, and welcome to Heat Race number 2 of 4 for the XCAL Racing 275. My name is PDJ Zettler, the voice of XCAL Racing. We're getting ready for our second heat race here. My apologies to you, my friend. Heat race number 1 was not broadcasted. We had some technical difficulties. You did miss a heck of a heat race, though. And by the way, the sponsor for this race is the Don't Mess with Texas 225, so not the XCAL Racing 275. My apologies on that mistake. But yes, the first heat race unfortunately was not able to be broadcasted. It was a doozy though. That one was won by Tyler Jalbert. Second place was Kyle Strychars. Third place was Tyler Batchelder. Fourth place Cody Jones. And fifth place in the final transfer spot was Matthew Bear. So overall, a pretty good first heat race. It had a lot of good side-by-side racing action. Only 2 cautions in the 40-lap affair. And yes, so just to clear you up, my friend, a new week here of XCAL Racing. It's pretty much the same thing as last week. Top 5 transfer from the heat race to the main event. It's a 40-lap heat race, and cautions are off except at the admin's administration. So we do have a live admin watching over things, making sure everything's running smoothly. If the admin feels like there needs to be a caution, then they will throw the caution themselves. As it looks like we have a dropping bombs photo op going on here at the end of practice as they're all running down at the bottom of the track taking some pictures. So qualifying is going to wrap up. We're getting ready to go with about 27 cars. Are going to be battling for about 5 transfer spots. And as I have about a minute left to wrap things up here in qualifying, some guys are going to get a chance to put their last laps down. Keeping up with some of the bigger stories, on one of the cars in this field, Luke Turpin, the 454, we've been closely monitoring his situation with well, what team is he going to sign with? Who, what, when, and where will we see him signing with? Those talks are continuing to get more and more diluted as the weeks go on. Early on, it seemed like Ryan Soper Racing was going to have a big chance to sign him, but unfortunately, due to Ryan Soper Racing running a paint scheme with some sponsors that were offensive to Luke Turpin, it looks like the RS Racing team has found themselves out of the conversation for the Turpin sweepstakes. So now Paul Coleman and K2 Motorsports are still involved, and actually the team that I own, Big Block Motorsports, we have thrown our hat into the ring. We are trying to sign Luke Turpin ourselves. We want him on our organization. We want the best driver in XCAL Racing on our team. So we're making our move too. I'm sure more and more teams are going to keep throwing their hat in the ring though, so nothing's guaranteed at this point. Here we go for the starting grid for the Don't Mess with Texas heat race number 2. Starting on pole position, that is position number 1, will be the number 15 of William Karp. On his outside, the number 28 will be Steven Rex. In third, in the number 7 will be Jeff Edgar. In fourth, in the number 74 will be Rafael Semprich. In fifth, in the number 12 will be Kenny Tripp. In sixth, in the number 42 will be Noah Carpenter. In seventh, in the number 32 will be Trevor Birchmere. In eighth, in the number 2 will be Ben Eaton. In ninth, in the 99 will be Tyler McRae. And in 10th in the number 20 will be Jose Gaudino. In 11th in the number 37 is Art Hendren. 12th in the number 82 is Alex Gangler. 13th in the 062 is Johnny B. 14th in the number 66 is Kendrick Prayer. 15th in the number 84 will be, I don't think there's a driver in 15th. In 16th in the 01 will be John Schwartz. In 17th in the 126 will be John Frilly. In 18th in the number 25 will be Bruce Helmuth. In 19th in the number 4 will be Brad Gologly. And in 20th in the 19 will be Greg Holtz. In 21st in the number 31 will be Josh Rogers. In 22nd in the number 5 will be Derek Colson. 23rd in the number 16 will be Pat Sullivan. In 24th in the number 27 will be Pedro Jose Luis Bywans. In 25th will be the 454 of Luke Turpin. 26th will be the 48 of Jordan Babinger. Babinger, got to remember to get that right this week. And in 27th will be Jeremy Leto in the 24. Rounding out our field in 28th will be the 77 with Octavio Rondoletto. So that wraps up our starting order. Here's 28 street stocks. Get ready to go around the 1.5 mile Texas Speedway here from Fort Worth, Texas, to decide which 5 cars are going to transfer to tomorrow's main event. Glad to welcome you into the broadcast, my friend. This racing this week at Texas has been fantastic. You've seen before, we've raced at Texas Speedway. We've also raced at a Michigan Speedway and Charlotte Speedway as well. Some of the bigger tracks XCAL goes to. I like the racing at Michigan the best. I think Michigan just kind of puts on the best product overall. Charlotte, I'm not the biggest fan of the racing there. But here at Texas, it's kind of like a mix of Charlotte and Michigan. You have the same style quad oval 1.5-mile track as Charlotte. However, the turns are banked more in a way similar to Michigan. What that does is it really leaves room for a lot more racing than I think at Charlotte. So you will see these guys racing side by side, getting up the speedway, using different lanes, making different moves. It's an exciting style of racing we have here at the Texas Motor Speedway, and if this is anything like Heat 1, this should be a dandy. It's going to be William Karp on pole position, bringing the field down the backstretch. Karp been on a good run lately. He won the Super Truck event last week, and then after the Super Truck race, he finished second in the Street Stock feature to Luke Turpin, and now he sits on pole position here in Heat number 2. He finished 7th in Heat 1, so he was just outside of a transfer spot. We will have to see if he can hold on and maybe transfer in this one. Starting on pole is a good start, though. The field comes to turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It is going to be that Karp 11 having the field at his mercy with Steven Rex tight on his outside. The iRacing Ford Mustang pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn into the pits. Karp will wait for the flagger, Texas Terry Labonte, to wave the green flag. Here they come. Green flag in the air, and Terry's going to let him rip. It is William Karp taking the lead. A good jump on the start. Rex is going to slide up in second on the high side. Now Karp checks up a little bit. No, the whole field's going to bobble. Here we go. Looks like Tripp's looking to the inside of Edgar for third. He checks up. Everyone's going to recover after a really funky start there, as now we'll see Noah Carpenter slide down to the low line in the 5th. Kenny Tripp really the big loser there. They race off of turn number 2, and it's going to be Karp on the low side. High side to Steven Rex with a lot of help from that 74 of Sempruch. Sempruch pushes him down into turn number 3, and Rex now battles for the top spot. As he slides up the racetrack, he gets loose. Rex is going to hang on, and now it's Karp and Edgar securely in the lead with Kenny Tripp coming behind, as we have a 3-wide situation here. Noah Carpenter's going to get a little loose. Leading at the flag stand was going to be the 15 of William Karp. A hectic first lap here, though, from Texas. Looking back, the outside lane has regrouped a little bit. Steven Rex has gathered his stuff, and he's back on the high side now. Sempruch gets right up behind him and gives him a heck of a shove. As they come down the backstretch, they're trying to get caught back up to that lead car of Karp. Karp, unfortunately, actually built up a little bit of a gap between him and Edgar. And the reason I say unfortunately is now Edgar's going to be able to draft right back up to his bumper. And that's actually not at all what you want. You kind of want the guys to be right up behind you, because if you get too much of a gap, you allow a big run to be made, and that's when things start to get hectic. Here we go, another lap in the books, and Rex on the high side with help from Sempruch. Also jumping up there now is going to be the number 66 of Kendrick Crayer. Crayer all over Sempruch's bumper. Sempruch goes up the racetrack a little bit, but he's going to hang on. So we have the top 3 all single file right now in that inside lane as Edgar continues to block. Worth noting, Edgar and Karp are teammates, so that 7 car is affiliated with the 15. Expect him to probably block for his teammate. Their other teammate, the 01 of John Schwartz, does run pretty deep in the field right now, sitting about 23rd with Luke Turpin. This time by the flag stand, we have the 28 of Rex now making his move back up high. Rex, one of them dropping bomb racing cars. He has his teammate, Birchmere on his inside, and then right behind Birchmere is another one of their teammates, Tyler McRae. Here we go. Kenny Tripp goes to the inside of Jeff Edgar. He is not there. He's going to let off the gas, let Edgar keep the spot, so Edgar's going to hang on for the time being. Edgar continues to race side by side with, now that's Birchmere. No, it's still Rex, excuse me. Rex on the high side, as Rex is going to draw even with second. Steven Rex now right up next to the 7 car. Here we go. Kenny Tripp thinking about 3 wide. Won't do it yet. Edgar keeps leaving that bottom lane so slightly open, and Kenny Tripp, you can tell he just wants to take advantage of it. Tripp just hasn't had a good chance. He has Tripp slips up the racetrack a little bit. He gets into Kendrick Crayer. They're all going to hang on there as they come off the corner. Still William Karp leading, but now Steven Rex on the high side has started to mount a charge with a lot of help from Rafael Sempruch. Semper's right up behind him now, and here we go. Rex going to take the second position away. Oh, getting loose is Birchmere. He almost got Prayer. As up to the top spot, here comes Steven Rex. Rex is now up to the 11 of Carp, or excuse me, the 15 of Carp. As on that high side, Rex has found a run. Here we go, side by side for the top spot. They head off into turn number 1. It's still that inside line with Carp showing the way around the Speedway. But Rex trying to make his claim known here. As Jeff Edgar is going to fill in the hole before Rex can slide down and fill it. As we come off the corner, Steven Rex continues to fly on that high side of the Speedway. He comes up top now, and still it's going to be Rex in second. Just really not able to get a run. Carp really hasn't had Edgar right on his bumper. Edgar's been laying back a little bit. There hasn't been too much help for the number 15 car, but he's just kind of biding his time, and running really good. Despite not a lot of drafting help, no one's really been able to draw up to him, and Edgar really hasn't been able to pull up to him. That 15 car just running a smooth, clean race right now, and he is keeping himself securely in the lead. He wants to get one of those top 4 qualifying spots tomorrow. As they come off the corner now, it's going to be a big run down the backstretch for the Edgar 7 car. He's going to catch right back up to the bumper of the leader, Carp. On that high side, the outside lane continues to grow. Now Noah Carpenter has joined them on the outside, and the 42 car, who is a big factor in heat race number 1, is helping these guys try to make their run up top. It is still William Carp leading. It's just like no matter what Rex does, he can only about get to the quarter panel of Carp. He hasn't been able to get any closer yet. As the laps wind on and these tires get warmer and warmer and the drivers start to get a little bit more aggressive and start pinching each other a little bit tighter, Rex will likely be able to get up there and race with Carp. But for the time being, it seems like everyone's just kind of racing with a certain amount of respect right now. And that's probably good considering it is a heat race and it is 40 laps, so you don't want to bite up your stuff here in the first 10 laps. As though Edgar and Rex, speaking of pinching, they get very tight to each other around the corner. It's going to be Rex on the high side with all the momentum in the world as they head down towards the flag stand. And that time by, Rex did have the second spot. He'll set his sights on the leader of Carp now. Rex almost had a hole to slide down into, but he's going to not do it once again. He likes being up top. Rex now with a lot of help from that 74 car. Semper's been doing a nice job riding right on the bumper of Rex. Those two just really haven't been able to get enough of a run yet as they continue to run up there. As Jeff Edgar gets a little bit of a tap there from Kenny Tripp. Tripp gets a little loose. He's going to hang on to it. So here we go for the top spot. It is that number 28 car making his run now. He draws up to the quarter panel of William Carp. Rex on the high side now is going to draw as close as he has this whole race. This time by the stripe, Carp led, but he only led by about half a car length. So Steven Rex is making it tight as they are dead even heading into turn number 1. Rex going to drive right on the door of the Carp machine, and then he gets a little bit loose. That's going to give Carp the advantage back once again, as Edgar is going to drive right behind him on his bumper, giving him a push. Here we go. Tripp looks to the inside of Edgar. Nothing doing there yet. Tripp's going to have to give all the momentum to Edgar now and help that inside line out as they head down into turn number 3. Rex, with all the help he has, he just can't quite get up to that 15 cars. Oh, we have a car getting squirrely as Luke Turpin now finds his way into the lead pack. He gave a little bump to Ben Eaton there, and after starting in the rear of the field, Luke Turpin has already made his way up to 12th from 25th. Good run there for Turpin. Looks like following him up through the field has been the Josh Rogers machine, as Rogers finds himself near the front of the field. Did not start. One car could not get their car fired. That was the 77 of Octavio Rondoletto. Rondoletto's car just wouldn't turn over. They're going to have to try again in the next heat race. The battle for the lead still persists as that 28 on the high side. 10 laps in the books, and he is trying to lead one for the first time. Every lap so far been led by William Carp. He's done a fine job on that inside line, just keeping everyone mired in behind him. As here we go, Luke Turpin jumps to the outside now with the unnamed driver in the 84. They continue to ride along the high side as Turpin is looking to maybe help that outside lane out. As we have a car getting loose. That's Steven Rex in second, and they're going to get all squirrely up front. Kendrick Crayer gets loose. Everyone's going to get scattered all around. It looks like the only one that's really going to lose anything out of that will be Crayer in the 66. So Crayer has to slide down in a line, and he will get himself set in there. But for the time being, that worked out for William Carp as the high side lost all the momentum they worked so hard to gain, and now they're going to have to get it right back. So here they come. William Carp continues to lead. It's Rex on the high side now battling for second with Edgar. Edgar doing a nice job on that low side, just keeping that car in position. Really doing a good job helping his teammate right now, too. He's not getting too close, not making things uncomfortable for Carp, but he's doing a good job keeping those other cars in the inside lane away from Carp. So Carp has a certain level of comfort knowing that the inside lane isn't the one challenging him. The only one that wants to challenge him is the outside lane, so he doesn't have to worry about what's in his mirror. He just has to worry about what's to the right of them as they go 3 wide to the back of the pack. Luke Turpin made a move on Ryan Soper there, and Turpin will now pick up another spot as he goes to the high side of Tyler McRae. As they're racing 3 wide behind Turpin. Turpin now draws right up to Noah Carpenter in the 42 car. Let's see if Turpin can make another move. He's not afraid to make it 3 wide. Turpin looks to the high side. He's going to try to fake him back down low. Nothing doing there yet. Turpin continues to run in his tire tracks. As up front, Steven Rex has caught back up to Carp. The battle for the lead is side by side once again. Carp on that low side of the Speedway. Just has been too formidable of a force to clear yet for Rex. We still have 27 cars on the lead lap out of the 27 that did take the green flag, so no accidents up to this point in the race, as I knock on wood. Have had some hairy racing, though, despite that. It definitely hasn't came without struggles so far, as here we go. The outside lane's going to lose its run a little bit there, and they are going to now be battling for second as Carp got off that corner so strong. Every now and then, Rex just doesn't get a good run. Here we go. Edgar jumps to the high side now. Edgar looking to make the move on his teammate Carp, as now Edgar will be the first car in the outside lane. So let's see what Edgar can do here as he's going to lead this outside lane of cars. He gets a push now from Steven Rex. And honestly, for Carp now, for him, he has all of his teammates on the outside. And that really is going to help Carp, because now he just has to block that low lane, knowing that Edgar's on the high side. And for the teammates, this is actually a perfect situation, as Edgar now leads the high side. He gets a nice side draft on Kenny Tripp. Rex trying to give him a shove here. Tripp does have the room to jump out to the outside if he wanted to. Doesn't look like he wants to. And Rex is going to make it 3 wide as Carp gets sideways. Carp spins in front of the field, and the caution will fly. Caution is out as we are under yellow as a big wreck happens at the front of the field. Oh my goodness, Jeff Edgar goes tumbling. And things just went from bad to worse there in the blink of an eye. I really don't even know what happened there. I just was paying attention to the battle for third. Next thing I look up and William Carp is spinning down the backstretch. I am not sure what happened. We're going to get the replay up for you in just one moment and see what happened. It all started up front, though, with William Carp, and it looks like pretty much the entire field got collected in that one. As you now are seeing the replay, here's what happened. Coming down the backstretch, looks like Kenny Tripp and William Carp just made a little contact in the quarter panel. And Carp tried to save it, but his car was so loose, he just went spinning in front of the whole field wildly. Able to miss it was Edgar, but then he got put into the wall by Rex. Edgar went spinning across the racetrack. And a couple other cars got involved in that. Looks like Kendrick Crayer got a pretty big piece of it. John Frilly, Ben Eaton. Jeff Edgar obviously went flipping across the Speedway. And that brought out the caution. Believe it or not, without a lot of damage was actually William Carp, who was the first car involved in that. Outside of a left front quarter panel that's been beat up a little bit now, he really didn't get too bad of a piece of that one, as another car was involved in that one too. Who was that? That was Brad Gologly in the floor. A tough break there for Gologly. And they are going to penalize Kenny Tripp, so he will not be the leader anymore, and your leader will now be Steven Rex. So we're going to try to dial up one of the drivers who was involved in that accident. As we're going to try to talk to Jeff Edgar in the 7 car down at the Infield Care Center as we put the headset on down there. Jeff, it's PD up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Read you loud and clear, PD. How you doing up there?
Not too bad, Jeff. Well, it looks like you went for a little bit of a wild ride there, so take us through what happened.
Yeah, I got tired of getting beat on by the 12 car, so I moved up and thought maybe he'd take it easy on the leader, but apparently he didn't. Took him out, and I moved up to avoid and got taken out.
10-4, Jeff. Well, tough break there. I'm sure we'll see you in the future heats, but for you, kind of looking forward, what's the move now that the first 2 heats have gone poorly for you?
Man, I don't know. The other thing I could do is maybe start in the back and see if we could manage to creep up to the front after the big one.
10-4, Jeff. Glad to hear that you are all good after the accident. That was a Jeff Edgar, driver of the 7 car, as we'll make him go back with his team. We're going to take a 30-second timeout for station identification. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Telesign TV. Welcome back here on Telesign TV to Heat Race number 2 for the Don't Mess with Texas 225. My name's PDJ Zeller, the voice of XCAL Racing, and we are getting ready to get restarted here in just a moment. After that accident, a few cars are out of the race. Johnny B in the 062, Pedro Jose Luis Bywans, Jeff Edgar, Brad Gologly, Ben Eaton, John Frilly, Kendrick Cryer, Alex Gangler was involved, Pat Sullivan, and Arthur Hendrick were the cars that were taken out in that big accident on lap number 16. So we get things doubled back up. Here will be your new running order on the racetrack. In first place, we will have the number 28 of Stephen Rex. Second will be Rafael Sempruch. Third, Trevor Birchmere. Fourth, Tyler McRae. Fifth is going to be an unnamed car. Sixth will be Josh Rogers. Seventh, John Schwartz. Eighth, Bruce Helmuth. Ninth will be Greg Holes. And 10th will be Luke Turpin in the 454. So the field comes down the backstretch, led in tow by Stephen Rex. He's going to bring them down through 3 and 4. That iRacing Ford Mustang pace car, hopefully for the last time as we're halfway through this race and have only had one caution, is going to make that hard left-hand turn as we get ready to go back green flag racing here. That was a good run we had to start this race, but like Edgar said in his interview, everyone started to get a little too dicey, and everyone didn't play nice for long enough. Here we come off of 4. Rex has the field at his mercy. Terry Labonte holds the flag in hand, and green flag in the air. Texas Terry lets it rip, and it's going to be Sempruch on the high side getting the jump. Sempruch on the high side is going to take the lead, so heading down into turn number 1, it's going to be Rafael Sempruch followed by Tyler McRae. They're going to go to first and second as Stephen Rex must have missed his shift there or something. Third's now going to be Josh Rogers. Fourth is going to be, I think that's going to be Bruce Helmuth, and fifth is going to be Luke Turpin as that 28 car continues to drop like a rock. As there's going to be a wreck down the backstretch. Caution will probably fly. Big wreck as half the field is going to get taken out in that one. Jeff Edgar goes flipping again. As the 7 team, he is going to need to get some consultation after that one. That 7 car has had a rough heat race. Been on its lid twice now. As I thought that he was probably out of it after the first one, but he came back out onto the track. And Edgar went violently flipping again, so a tough break there for the Edgar 7 team as they can not just catch any luck. As that one looks like, as the replay does go live, let's see what happened here. I don't even realize what happened. It all started up with the 28 of Stephen Rex, and they were coming off turn number 2. And it looks like a ghost might have hit him or something. I don't know. He got into him. And then the 32 ended up wrecking. John Schwartz also got a piece of that. As mentioned earlier, Edgar went flipping. Kenny Tripp got a piece of that. Greg Holes got a pretty big piece of that, as did Jeremy Leto. And caution will fly once again. So that puts us under caution for the second time in this heat race. As I am going to see if I can catch a word maybe with someone from that restart there. Actually, I found a driver that was involved in the accident, so we're just going to go with him. As we're going to try to dial up the radio right now. And, alright, here we go. John Schwartz in the 01. PD up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Well, John, it looks like you were collected in that accident there. Tell us what happened from your perspective.
So, yeah, I was starting 7th in the 4th row up there, and so I was hoping that I'd be able to get a good start and to push those guys on the inside, but, as soon as I shifted up the gears, everyone just started checking up, like, before I even got to turn 1, and so I was like, I had assumed that some guy up there had, like, damage and just wasn't able to get up to speed, so I just tried to stay low. I saw the 32 falling back, and I saw Soper get up high, so I went below the white line exiting turn 2, and then I just got a bunch of guys come down on top of me, and I got into the inside wall there, so don't really know why everyone was checking up there, but just unfortunate.
Well, John, is the car probably done for this heat race, and you have to try again, or do you think it'll still be able to get back out there?
It's 100% done, so that's gonna be it for me. But it's fun race up to that point, though.
All right, John. Well, thank you for joining us. That was John Schwartz, driver of the 01 car, giving us his perspective on the accident. Tough break there for the 01 team. Things will be lining up a little bit different when we go green. We are going to take a 30-second timeout for station identification, though. Don't go anywhere. XCAL Racing will be right back on Telesign TV. And welcome back here to Telesign TV. My name's PDJ Zeller, the voice of XCAL Racing, and we are getting ready to go back green here in just a moment. After that last caution, here's your current running order. In first is Rafael Sempruch, second's going to be Tyler McRae, third Josh Rogers, fourth Bruce Helmuth, fifth's going to be Luke Turpin, up to sixth actually, after leading this race and being involved in a caution not long ago is going to be William Karp. Seventh, Noah Carpenter, eighth, Jordan Babinger, ninth is going to be Jose Gaudino, and 10th will be Derek Coulson. So we are looking to go back green here in just a moment. A couple cautions here slowing down the pace of this race, but nothing too dramatic. Just a couple. Well, the first one was a pretty big wreck. I shouldn't say nothing too dramatic because that first caution was a doozy. The second one, though, was just kind of a little pile up towards the rear of the field. We'll have to see if this restart can be a little cleaner. That all kind of stemmed from the 28 of Steven Rex. Did not go at all on that initial start, and his car must have just had a lot of damage from the first caution that he didn't realize it had. So as we get ready to go green, it is going to be Sempruch leading the field down to the green flag as he has the lead on the inside. He'll have some help behind from Josh Rogers, and don't look now, but that 454 of Luke Turpin, he's up to fifth, and he is not done yet. We still have, I believe, 12 cars on the lead lap battling for the 5 transfer spots to tomorrow's feature event. So still a handful of cars, but a couple big wrecks have definitely taken out some of the competitors in this one. We started with 28, and we are now down to less than half the field. This one has been a race of attrition. So we come through 3 and 4. That iRacing Ford Mustang pace car will lead the field off the corner. As the flagman, Texas Terry Labonte does hold the green flag in his hand. That's right, we got Texas Terry this week. I'll give a little bit more of the backstory on that in the feature tomorrow as we come off of turn number 4. Sempruch has the field in tow, and green flag in the air, and it's going to be the German-born driver, Rafael Sempruch. I shouldn't just say German-born, he's a German citizen as of right now, too. Getting a rough restart there. McRae is going to clear him, so move McRae now down into the lead. Luke Turpin makes it 3 wide on Josh Rogers. Rogers slides up the speedway. That's really going to hurt Bruce Helmuth as Luke Turpin makes his way to third. Luke Turpin with an aggressive move there will move up to the third position as Helmuth is just not having it his way right now. Turpin runs right behind Sempruch. He's looking for somewhere to go. He is going to go to the high side. Turpin goes up top, nothing doing there. He's going to slide back in the line. Almost like Turpin's board, he's just all over the racetrack right now, finding somewhere to go. He's going to have help from behind now from William Karp in the 15 car. Don't forget, that was our 1-2 finish at USA last week, was Turpin and Karp. They run 3rd and 4th right now, as Turpin does jump up top. He's going to race to the high side now of Rafael Sempruch. Sempruch now continues to run on that low line, but it's Turpin on the high side battling for 3rd with Karp. Now he's going to get help. Here comes to the high side. It looks like that's going to be Jordan Babinger jumping to the outside to help Turpin. Turpin gets a big run down the backstretch, and now as he gets really close there with the 74 of Sempruch, he's going to draw up to the door now of Sempruch as he drives off the corner. It is Luke Turpin with a ton of help from Babinger. Now it's going to be Noah Carpenter jumping up to the high side, and let me tell you what, that's a lot of good drivers up on that high sideline right now. A bunch of guys that are capable of winning races. Let's see what happens here as they race side by side for the top spot. Turpin versus McRae. McRae continues to run down on that low side. Well, it's Luke Turpin, the 454, driving it off the corner. He gets a big run down the backstretch. Turpin has the lead as they head down turns towards turn 3. It's not going to be enough to clear McRae, though, as McRae still draws even on that inside line. McRae races side by side for the top spot. Turpin using all the side draft in the world. The lead pack looks like it's down to about 7 cars right now, as Derek Coulson, Jeremy Leto, Josh Rogers, and Bruce Helmuth have lost touch with the lead pack, and Jose Gaudino is at risk of losing the lead pack if he doesn't get something going here. So 6 cars race for the win at Texas, as Luke Turpin is trying to make it happen on that high side right now. He has a lot of help from Babinger. Babinger going to give him a big shove down the backstretch. Turpin waving his face saying, "Come on, Jordan, give me a push, give me a shove." They head down into turn number 3, and Turpin's going to pinch the 99 of McRae right down on that white line. McRae gets a little loose with no air on his spoiler, and Luke Turpin off the corner gets another big run as they head down towards the flag stand. It's going to be McRae at the line this time by, but could not have been much more close. It was Tyler McRae by 6 1/1000ths of a second that time, and less than 100,000ths was Babinger in 3rd on the high side. So as we continue to race for the top spot, all 7 of these guys battling, and I think that Jeremy Leto in the 24, he might still barely have the lead draft. He hasn't seemed to lose touch with these guys yet. He was just hanging in there. Only 11 cars on the lead lap, so 7 or 8 racing for the lead isn't too surprising. Still, it just looks funny out there with not that many cars on the track. After starting with 28, a couple big ones really did shave down the size of this field. That time by, Terry Labonte puts up 10 fingers, 10 more laps to go from the Texas Motor Speedway, and it's going to be Luke Turpin pinching him right down onto the apron again. Turpin just trying to take that lead on the high side. He has a lot of help from Jordan Babinger. Worth noting, Babinger is the teammate of the car leading Tyler McRae. You got to wonder, too, if Babinger really wants to push a non-team car ahead of a team car. As Semperuch gets all sorts of sideways. That allows Babinger to pull in behind his teammate if he wants to. Babinger will. Babinger's going to slide down and get in front of McRae. So now you will see Babinger draw right up to the bumper of his teammate, and that is not what Luke Turpin wanted to see. That does not help the Turpin case whatsoever. So it's those DBR cars on the inside, McRae and Babinger. Turpin gets a little loose in the middle of the corner. He goes up the speedway, and now that allows the drop and bomb racing cars to almost clear them, do they? If they do, you have to think that Babinger might drop up to the high side and try to block both lanes, per se. But Turpin still races there. No, Babinger gets into Turpin. Turpin saves it. Turpin's going to get moved up out of the lane. That's going to move Turpin back now. Carpenter will be the first car on the outside lane. Remember, only 5 cars transfer, and we have 7 cars racing up here in the lead pack. This could get really dicey as Carpenter continues to show the way on the high side now. Those drop and bomb cars do lead the way around the racetrack, though. No one contesting Babinger and McRae right now. McRae is the lead car as he brings him off to turn number 2. He looks in his mirror and he sees nothing but drop and bombs racing, and I'm sure that's a very friendly sight right now for Tyler McRae. Here they come down the backstretch. It is going to be Noah Carpenter on that high side, and getting up the racetrack a little bit is Semperuch there, as Semperuch almost gets into the number 42 of Noah Carpenter. They still race side by side, though. Semperuch is going to hang on. Carpenter with a big run now as he draws back to the high side. He's going to take third for the moment. Running right behind them as they get really close there. They might have made contact, the 42 and 74. It's Luke Turpin. He's that next car on the high side. Got to keep an eye on him, see if he can make a charge and help Carpenter get back to the front. Or maybe Turpin will have a say in this before it's over. As, our lead 2 cars have hooked bumpers. The 48 car is inside of the bumper of the number 99. Let's see if that gets hairy. That could get bad. It will not. They're all going to hang on to it for the time being. But that was a pucker moment right there, as that could have went really poorly. As we go down and across the front stretch, Carpenter does draw up to the door now of Tyler McRae. It's that 42 car on the high side making his run here for winning this race. He has Turpin's help, but Turpin's not that close to really give much help right now. As Luke Turpin in that 454 car, he is coming back on that outside lane. He is drawn right up to the bumper of the 42 as they go around the lap car, Bruce Helmuth. Here they come, and getting really close there is Semperuch and Turpin as they go through 3 and 4. It is Noah Carpenter still leading the high side around in that 42 Traxxas machine. This time by, Texas Terry puts 5 fingers down, 5 laps to go from Texas, as we are here in heat race number 2 for the Don't Mess with Texas 225. There will be no more cautions in this race, so if a wreck were to happen, there wouldn't be a caution. They would race it out to the end of this one. No cautions within 5 laps to go in the XCAL Racing League. As Carpenter gets a lot of help now. Turpin's drawn right up to his bumper. Carpenter gets a heck of a push down the backstretch, and Carpenter is going to have a nose ahead as they go down into turn 3. Carpenter draws down, tries to side draft off of McRae. He gets a little bit too much of a shove there from Turpin, but actually him and Turpin are going to keep the momentum up, and off the corner, it's going to be Noah Carpenter with a huge run off the corner. They come towards the flag stand this time by. It's going to be McRae with the lead, but only by 25 one-thousandths of a second. Carpenter is there on the outside. He's knocking on the door. Turpin giving him all the help he needs and more, as we have Jose Godino maybe jumping up the high side now. Only 5 cars transfer. Right now, Semperuch in that last transfer spot with William Karp running right behind him. We'll have to see as Karp jumps to the high side now. He's going to make his run at the transfer spot. We have 7 cars racing for 5 spots here. So we come off the corner. McRae continues to lead. He's going to have the lead of the flag stand. 3 more laps to go this time by. 3 more to go. Still anyone's race, as Jeremy Leto is actually caught back up to the lead pack to make it about an 8-car battle. Leto making sure that his hat's still in the lead. So we have 8 cars dueling it out here at the end from Texas Motor Speedways. Carpenter gets loose. He's going to slide up the racetrack. That kills the outside line's momentum. I don't know if they have enough race to get that run back. Here they come down the backstretch. A lot of help now from Luke Turpin to that 42 car. The 42 car did recover nicely. I just don't know if he has enough time. McRae and Babinger almost touched there. McRae's going to hang on to it, and that's what Carpenter needed to catch back up to these guys. Carpenter on the high side now does get a good side draft off the 48. This time by popsicle sticks in the air. Just 2 more laps to go. 2 laps to go for Tyler McRae, trying to win his first heat race in a little while. Here comes that 42 of Carpenter with all the help in the world from Turpin. Carpenter side drafts off of McRae. They come down the backstretch. McRae still leads on the inside, but Carpenter has came all the way back. As they head down into turn number 3, it is Carpenter with the nose ahead. Carpenter in that high side lane, they've been saving their stuff, but here they come as we're down to the final laps of this race. Turpin puts his nose in the middle. There's nothing there. A lot of momentum just got killed off the 42 cars. Turpin tried that move. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go, and this time by the flag stand with 1 to go, it was going to beat Carpenter by 2 1/1000ths of a second. Here they come down into turn number 1. Carpenter on the high side. He side drafts as close as possible. He is trying to find his way back around McRae, but he loses ground. No help from behind from Turpin after Turpin tried to make a 3-wide move. Carpenter's going to have to really drive it tight down here in 3 and 4 to have a chance. They come down. He draws even with McRae. As they drive through the corner, it's going to be Carpenter all by himself with no help. Can he make something happen? He gets a really good side draft off Babinger as they come off the corner. McRae throws the block. McRae goes up high to block. He goes back down low. Checkered flag in the air, and Tyler McRae wins heat race number 2. Second place is going to be Noah Carpenter. Third, Jordan Babinger. Fourth is going to be Rafael Sempruch. And in fifth is your final car transferring will be Jose Godino. As just outside was Jeremy Leto in 6th and William Karp in 7th. So epic finish to that heat race there, as the outside line just couldn't quite muster up enough there to make it into victory lane. But still, Tyler McRae picking up the win, and we will talk to him in just a few moments. All right, and we're going to go down here on the front stretch and get a word in with Tyler McRae as he celebrates a heat race victory. And we're down here in victory lane with Tyler McRae. And Tyler, there on that last lap, it was really tight between you and the 42. Coming to the white flag, the 42 actually led by 2 1/1000ths of a second. So take us through that lap there and how you were able to hold him off.
You know, I knew my teammate Jordan was behind me, you know, strong pushing. We've worked together a lot at bringing him on full time. And I had faith that we were going to come home, if not 1-2, at least, 1-2-3 or 2-3. I knew we were going to be in the top 5, and that's what we need to get Jordan in this race. I'm real happy with the way our team's been performing, dropping bombs racing. I want to thank them, and I appreciate XCAL putting on all these races, and Tella TV for broadcasting us live. I really appreciate it.
Well, Tyler, I'm looking forward to the feature tomorrow. Like you said, you got 2 cars in here. Kyle Strychars did advance in the first heat race. So how do you DBR guys feel heading into tomorrow's feature at Texas? Is this the track you guys are looking forward to?
Well, these restrictor plate races are probably not my favorite. You know, the latest rule change now has us at a full gas tank. So, you know, going in for gas, not going in for gas in the heat race makes it a little more just hanging on until somebody makes a mistake like y'all saw. You know, all that fishtailing down the backstretch that was going on early, that was you're just kind of waiting for something to happen with that. And luckily we were able to make it through there and stick together with teammates, and that's what it's about. You know, that's what we're in here for, is to work together and try to help each other get better.
Well, Tyler, before I let you go talk with your team and celebrate a heat race win, is there any sponsor, crews, or teammate you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, man, the OG Dropping Bombs Racings, you know, guys, they've always been around and kind of helped me be the iRacer I am now. And all of the Dropping Bombs guys, man, we work hard all week. You know, the first guy that we brought on for XCAL was John, then Art, and then next thing you know, it's Steve and Cal and Jordan, and then Sean still trying out for us. He'll be on here later. Trevor, good friend of Jordan, but he's sitting in the sub seat. So it's kind of cool what we got going on. You know, we got a pretty good fellowship in our Discord, you know, talking about just life and racing. And we have fun all week long. So it's kind of cool being a part of that.
All right, well, thank you, Tyler. Good luck to you in the future. That was Tyler McRae, winner of Heat Race number 2. And that'll wrap up things for this broadcast. My name is PDJ Zeller, the voice of XCAL Racing, on behalf of Tanner Kalin and all the fantastic people over at Telesign TV. Aaron Hillbush and everyone at XCAL Racing who makes these races possible. We'll see you in an hour for Heat Race number 3. Take it easy.